Hi guys! So some of you know that we have a garden, and obviously because it's summertime the garden is blooming and it's giving so much, and we have some herbs that grow back yearly, and I've noticed that the thyme is growing so wild at the moment. I don't know if it's because of the really hot weather or what's the reason, but I decided I want to preserve some of the thyme, and I want to share with you a really easy way to preserve the thyme for later, and how you can use it then. So let's get started with the recipe. Now that it's summer season and the herbs are growing really fast and sometimes you just cannot use all of them, it's the perfect time to start preserving them. So today I'm gonna show you a simple method of preserving some thyme. I'm using thyme because unfortunately our rosemary died, so I'm only using different kinds of thyme, but you could also do the same with rosemary, and preserving it in some olive oil. So you are going to use it in the cooking that way anyway, so it's a perfect way to preserve it. So I have some regular thyme here, and then I also have some lemon thyme. Then I have an ice cube tray here, and I'm just gonna cut with scissors, so making this really easy pieces that fit into the tray. And I want to put quite a lot in each one because I don't want to use a lot of olive oil in order to actually get some of that thyme into my food. So adding quite a lot, a couple of branches into each ice cube this segment. And like I said, I'm only using thyme because I didn't have any rosemary in our garden, so just using the herbs that we have. But what you could do is, obviously if you have some rosemary available, then also make this kind of cubes with the rosemary, or what you could also do is to combine the thyme and the rosemary. So those two go really well together as well in a lot of cooking, so it's a great combination if you want to mix. Now I have half of my tray filled with the regular thyme, and I'm gonna fill the rest with lemon thyme. So I didn't mix these two because I just decided I want to have them separate. I can then, if I want, just add 2 cubes of oil and then use both in case there's a dish that requires both. So if you love herbs, then this is a really quick way to preserve them. Once we've filled up the herbs, we are going to just pour over the oil, and then what you are going to do is to freeze it. And once they're frozen, you can remove them from the tray, so you don't have to have like 20 trays in order to make these kind of cubes. Once they have frozen, you can just remove them from the tray into a container or a plastic bag, and then store like that until you use them. And then once you have all the herbs there, you just want to fill with the oil. And then one more thing what you can do is to just help any pieces that are not in the oil to sink into the oil, and then pop it in the freezer overnight. As I mentioned in the video itself, this is not the way to just preserve thyme. You could also preserve rosemary and any other similar herbs this way. You can do what I did and just preserve each spicy, each herb separately, or what you can do is to combine thyme with rosemary, for example, or any other herb that you might have growing in your garden. I think this is a really great way to preserve the herbs, because when you're cooking you're using oil anyway, so then you have the oil already with the herb, which is great. It gives so much flavor to the dishes. So once you've frozen the ice cubes or the the oil cubes, the herb cubes, you can remove them from the tray and store them in a separate container back in the freezer, obviously, so that they don't melt. And then you can use them for cooking a dish, just adding it on your pan and allowing it to melt. Or you could also use it for some oven dishes where you I don't know, you want to bake some potatoes, you want to bake some mixed vegetables, some meat. You can also add in those cubes and they will give the oil and the lovely flavor from the herbs as well. So I thought this is a really great way of preserving the herbs. I also have another video for preserving rosemary by making rosemary salt. So there you dry the rosemary to preserve it. And I'm gonna link that for you here in case you want to have a look at that as well. And I will try to make more videos for you to give you ideas on how to preserve those beautiful herbs when you have an abundance of those and cannot get all of them used during the season. So if you like this recipe, don't forget that thumbs up, so I will know that you like this kind of content and I will try to make more of it. Also, if you want some tips on garden or how to use some of the garden produce, then please let me know in the comments below and I will be happy to look into that. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye until next time.